And welcome back to episode 111 of the Hit the Showers podcast, presented to you by the Foolproof Entertainment Network. As always, I am your host, Clifford Jordan Jennings, here with my point man and co-host, Malcolm Feet for Hands and Two Left Feet King.
Call me Evan Mobley then. How we doing?
Malcolm got to buy two pairs of the same shoe and sell the right pair back to the store for displays.
Fuck off, Cliff. Yeah, y'all had me early. Okay, I like it.
We got Air in the dot connector. Spencer in the building. What's happening? Thumbs up for the audio. And my guy Q. I'm sorry?
I was saying it's all good over here. Continue on.
I know that's right. And my guy Q McLeod is back in the building. What's popping?
What's up, good people?
You know, my shower heads that are in attendance, this should be a good one. And for the audio listeners, my guy the dot connector been connecting dots even without saying anything. He got the Lakers playoffs Will Smith Chris Rock meme. With the Lakers is Chris Rock getting smacked in the playoffs saying, keep my name out your mouth. And I want to get right into it because this has been the talk of the town. And I know it's not basketball related, so I'll find a way to spin it in there. And since we were talking a little bit about Will's form of the slap, I'm going to pose to y'all a question. Who do you think had better form, Juwan Howard or Will Smith?
Well, Juwan Howard had a long distance kind of a he was
throwing a Hail Mary.
It was an attempt. This was like, oh, he's just gonna stand still the whole time. All right. Here we go. I'm winding up. You're not gonna move still?
He ain't catched it. He's gotta be the dumbest.
Well, no, they like your wife said, that might be Asperger's. He might not have known he was gonna go through with that smack, even with his.
You're coming up there looking aggressive.
Anybody that winds up like that, it's an automatic dip move. I'm dipping back.
What do you say in the video? I think
I'd have been back like this. Oh, what's up?
What?
Came high with that handshake. I didn't know what you was trying to do.
You came high with that handshake.
Hey, look, Will was walking up to him, and what Chris was like, "Oh, Will."
Oh shit.
Oh, shit.
I'm sweating.
Oh,
man.
It
What would
almost
you give
reminded
it,
me.
Aaron? I know you said you thought it was good for him. What would you give it out of 10? What was Will's form on that?
I'll give it a solid B.
A B?
Yeah, it hit all the fundamentals of a slap. It wasn't accurately like I don't think he hit the right spot of the face. Might should have been more towards the ear. But
you trying to knock him off?
I mean, he was on national TV.
Said the ear.
You got to touch ground. Someone got to touch ground. Your hands. You got to at least do this real quick. Oh shit!
The only reason why I give the smack a 6 out of 10 is because, like you said, it was a T-ball hit. First of all, Juwan Howard's was somebody pitched him a curveball and he still foul ball tipped that motherfucker. This he even leaned into it because he didn't know what was happening and he smacked him. Now, as I pointed out and as the visual listeners can see in the picture, when you see Will Smith's follow through, you see fingertips like he's showing us his new acrylics. And everybody knows the follow through of a slap, you should see the palm and fingertips, not the outside of your hand, which leads me to believe that he smacked him and in his follow through rolled his hand over to the outside, which leads me also to believe that you didn't get enough force behind that smack to do that.
Look at the defense, though. You see the defense.
The defense was turning around and walking away hastily. He didn't know. He knew that Chris would have been wrong to sucker punch him, so he said, "Let me hurry up and get off this motherfucking stage."
I don't know Chris Rock, but anybody that you slap in front of a whole bunch of people, you should expect an immediate retaliation. That's at least how I'll go about it. Even if he is, he gonna try something. His wife is out here, goddamn it.
Right.
He's gonna swing. He gonna go out like that. I mean, he handled it the right way, but knee-jerk reaction when somebody slap you, especially in public. Nigga.
But you know what? And not to hang on it too much, but I'm not even gonna listen. I'm not even gonna get into it for the most part. But what I will say is, this isn't the first time Chris Rock talked about Jada at the Oscars. Mm-hmm. Remember when she said boycott the Oscars? He said Jada saying boycott the Oscars is like me saying boycott Rihanna's panties. I wasn't invited in the first place. He was going in on her before. So I don't know. Maybe this was just like the straw that broke the camel's back and he was like, fuck it.
How we all know the level of simpness that comes with this.
Right.
The level, if anything, if it's like that, I'll handle it later. You're not going to change my mood in public. If I'm laughing at one time and then I look at you and you upset, well, it's a funny joke, bitch. You need a motherfucking line up. Right? I'm not saying it's the right, but at the same, it's a joke.
Right.
He didn't talk. If he tell me I'm fat, I'd be like, okay, I am overweight. So
right.
That was fair play.
You know what I'm saying? I can take a joke because at the same time, I'm gonna say some shit about you that's probably off color at some point.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to get into the reasons behind why, but I will say for the form of a slap, 6 out of 10 for me. I'm giving Juwan Howard, I'm giving him a 7.5 because he tried to catch him on the run, right? And he had multiple people between him. So I think I'm leaning to Juwan Howard on this one.
Okay. This is just the form was so crispy. Until I watched the replay, I was like, damn. I was one of the people that thought it was fake.
I did too.
I saw his face when he got here.
Right.
Once he got here, that.
I said, let me find out they training with Vince McMahon and them doing some WWE shit. And they said it was real. I was like, oh shit, okay.
Well, now on the motor, I can tell it's fake. When I was a kid, for a little while, I thought it was real. But.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm still sure either way. Some of them slaps and hits and shit.
Mark said Will stomp when he swung.
Right.
He stopped the stage when he swung to make it more dramatic.
Slapped his chest.
That's why the other hand is tucked so high behind his chin. Like he in a Achilles shell deep.
Did y'all see the memes where it was like, what would Tupac do or some shit? Like, or he like basically something about involving Tupac, like being behind
Tupac. I definitely couldn't have seen him. Now I'm not saying he didn't have it in him, but I couldn't have seen him do something immediately if he was offended. I think you would have heard about Tupac trying to fuck him up at the after party or backstage.
Right.
Yeah, they had the door blocked.
Right.
The most, yeah.
I don't see Tupac just going up there in an attempt to smack you and walk off to allow you to continue the show. I see Tupac going for the jugular. I'm not saying that Tupac would not have retaliated. I'm just saying he probably would have went about it the way I would have. There's no need to do anything at the moment. But, my nigga, understand that we have a meeting scheduled together.
Well, this definitely happened. and let's all just be serious. Fighting in dress shoes is not an ideal situation.
No.
Not on a stage, at least.
You're not getting no grip.
You got to get the carpet at least. You got to work your way to the carpet.
He might have been dress shoes. He was wearing the penny loafers. Right? He went to swing. That shit slipped on him.
Yeah.
Lincoln went bouncing across the stage.
Exactly, nigga.
And if Chris Rock wouldn't have stood still, he would have fell.
Bro,
listen, Chris Rock ate that shit like Hagler.
He did.
If he dipped that slap.
Man.
Will Smith might have spun.
He would have spun. Why didn't he dip? Chris Rock ain't no dipping ass nigga though.
Dip, baby, dip.
He probably would have dipped just as stiff as Will tried to smack him.
First of all, they're too old to be fighting. They're too old to be boxing.
Chris Rock from New York. You should know better. You should see that.
You know what that walk up is, regardless.
Exactly.
You have
Asperger's. The last three steps when it's doom. You should know what's happening. You finna get smacked.
But you know what?
Beyond the Asperger's, right? I feel like Aaron said, you from New York, right? If somebody walking up on you like that, I don't care if you don't read emotional cues well. You better you got at least 20 steps from that staircase to your face to read what kind of, like, what's his face? Is he frowning? Is he smiling? What is going on? Like, you at least recognize a frown or a smile.
Right.
All right, let me square up.
I think he had his head down.
Let me change my stance real quick.
Right.
I mean, at least
in every situation, you got your personal space. You know when it's violated already.
Right. That's a good way to put it.
3 foot radius. You got a 3 foot radius. Any nigga, good or bad, nice person, preacher. If you wouldn't in that 3 foot radius, I'm gonna ask you some other questions.
Right.
What's up? Like, why are you this close?
Right.
Yeah. He proceeded to try to like sneak some jokes in while he walking through him, you know.
Yeah, I don't know if it almost. I wish there was an angle of behind Chris Rock to see
where you
Will
can see
walk up. Because I want to know if it was like a sucker punch, you know, like where he was jovial up until the point he got there, or if he made it apparent, I'm coming to handle business.
If he bit his bottom lip like this.
right as the swing.
That motherfucker walked up aggressive.
Oh shit! That nigga thought he was Tony Montana, G. Like he walked up like he was Frank fucking Lucas.
Didn't he? On some G shit.
I just don't get it, man.
I'm talking about he fixed his suit about 50 times on the way.
Right.
Yes.
That's how he should have known right there. That's how he should have known. Like, you straightened your collar out 3 times. That's one too many times for this approach. I feel like you gonna do something. Man, I don't know. But shit. God bless you both. And The left side of Chris Rock's face.
Mm.
But
all right, though.
Yeah, it is what it is. He ate that shit, Hagler-wise. Change it up if you want to. But let's move on. We here to talk sports, basketball in particular. And I guess since it's in the title, we'll get with your Lakers. What you got to say? What you got to say about that? Are you concerned by the slip?
No, I mean, let's go ahead and get these draft picks. You know, I'm not wanting to win now. I'm not
getting y'all's first round next. Y'all don't have a first round pick.
Listen, I want us to clear house. I want us to do what the Raiders did. I want us to fire Pelinka. I want us to fire Vogel. Put a fire under Davis and everybody else's ass. Let everybody else know that your job is on the line. Anybody could go. I think everybody's too comfortable.
But you don't think it's
way too comfortable.
Hard to do that after they already succeeded in the bubble? Like, I think that depends on what emphasis you put on that bubble victory. Like, I think us as viewers put an asterisk on that championship, but I think the NBA as an organization actually looks at it as the opposite, you know, because they're like, we know what it took for these players to endure this situation to get to that championship. So while y'all are looking at it as a setup, they still had a whole bunch of rules and regulations they had to follow to get here. It was a lot of time away from families that it wouldn't have normally been. You know what I'm saying?
I love my Lakers, and I don't want to take it away as a Lakers fan. But looking back at that season, I mean, not everybody even had their best guys that season.
I completely get that. I completely get that.
Due to the protocol. So I guess, like, I appreciate the fact that we won, but I don't put too much as a fan emphasis on it because it's like you weren't playing the quote unquote best. You were playing the best of the best during that situation.
Right.
But now when you're playing the best of the best back in a more reality setting, you're getting your asses kicked.
So, right. So to answer that question, and I'm sorry, Aaron, so just to answer the question, my original question, you're basically saying that the fact that they've won a championship in the past 3 years, it's not enough. You're still
not
fired.
Enough.
You're still fired. Okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure.
Comes with the territory. You know,
no, it does come.
You go to.
You're right.
Hey, but don't discredit the championship you guys won, though. You know what I mean? Because you got to think about it. That's what the Lakers would have looked like healthy.
That's what I'm sitting here trying to say. So
you see what I'm saying? If the Lakers had been healthy, you don't go through the turnover you went through, et cetera, down the line.
Right.
Look at what happened. That was a blessing for y'all to see what worked. That was up to Rob and Rob and them wanted those other guys out the door. You know what I mean?
So you got to factor in them that little 20. It was like a month or two where they didn't have to play no games. Everybody could sit at the crib.
Right.
And AD was the most ailing at the time.
They said, well, I was working at home today. They was watching the first take, whatever. And you know what I'm saying? Like, the best way for them to win is everybody be healthy.
Well, I mean, that's clear, but the issue.
That's what I'm saying. But like, so what I'm trying to say, you're not finna get shit for injured Anthony Davis, and y'all don't have a first round pick next year.
Right. Yeah. And then that's another thing, right? Is that you can't say doesn't matter, I'll hope for the picks, because you're already too high in the season, the ranks of the season, to be getting a marquee pick that you can use.
I think they traded that pick though, the first round pick.
I mean, I believe you may be correct.
I think they traded it. I don't know. I'm not sure, but I think they traded it. So they don't have a first round draft pick next year. You might need to look that up. Somebody Google it. But I don't think they have a first round draft pick.
Yeah, they might be like the Heat. Don't got one for like the next 3 years.
Y'all sold, didn't?
Hey, we good though. We know how to find them players. We find ballers.
Y'all first.
My phone was on the charger.
Y'all don't want to see Giannis though.
The Lakers don't.
Y'all niggas ain't finna do shit with Giannis.
Who, the Heat or? Well, the Heat wouldn't have to see Giannis unless they both made it to
the Eastern Conference Finals. They are.
Right. That would be the only way they would see each other.
That's where they meet. It's bad news for the Heat. That's just my opinion, but it don't look good.
No, we'll be playing 2 out of 3 then.
What you mean?
We whooped them in the bubble to go to the championship, and then they turned around and swept us last year. So,
right.
You know what I mean?
Right, I follow what you said.
We don't forget. We don't forget nothing.
And shit, nigga. You can't just foul them no more.
Check the last time Giannis played us.
All right,
we should. It took him to the third quarter to get some points.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like now that the Suns hit him with that what do they call it, the triple wall or whatever, what did they call it, that defense where they put all their big three in the middle of the paint and stack them side by side so he can't get a lane. That was kind of holding him. And I said it on previous shows that I feel like Cleveland kind of even took that to a new level with having 3 7-footers out there on that wall. He wasn't getting much. We beat them once this season. I can't remember how many times we saw them or what the record was, but we beat them like that. So now that somebody has found something that remotely works, you don't know what happens when you put a Adebayo, a Butler, and who's y'all power forward?
PJ Tucker.
See, those are 3 defenders right there. If you put them in a wall and let Giannis try to break through, you probably get stripped.
Hey,
and then you got the foul man, Dwayne Dedman, coming off the bench. He'll take 6. He'll take 6 up.
You only get 5 of them things.
Right. He asking for him. Like, ref.
However you get him, just get 5 of them things.
He throwing his hands up like, ref, you ain't caught that? You ain't caught that foul?
Sure.
He take another nigga's foul. Foul Jimmy Butler. That was me, ref.
Right.
Don't worry about it. I get the next one. I
pulled his jersey. You didn't see that? I pulled the jersey.
But, I mean, the keeping a buck, that was him in his career.
Yeah.
That was him in Dallas.
No, some niggas is like that. Nigga,
He's always been the what do they call him on the hockey team?
What you mean, the enforcer?
The enforcer. Yeah, he's always, and I don't even really mean like, but he's the kamikaze guy out of the bunch.
The Charles Oakley type.
Dwayne Dedman. I have no problem getting ejected from this game if something happens.
Dwayne Dedman.
Isn't that his first name, Dwayne?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's for the Heat.
He plays for the Heat now. Yeah, he used to play for Dallas. He played for who else did he play for?
You know, you always got to pick one man up off the couch, man.
Right. And he is an older dude, so I mean, you can't expect him to give hell, but he still can throw a few bows down there.
Yeah. Pay me $5 million to foul niggas.
He probably getting 5. The vet minimum on basketball is what, 2.5?
Yeah.
Hey, give me 2.5. I will get these 5.
Right.
Hey, he even give you a 3. He even give you a 3-point shot every now and then.
Really?
Yeah. What he averaged like 6 points. I don't know what he averaged. I'm just guessing. I figure he averaged about 6 points. That's a little bit.
I'm sure he gets some cleanups down there.
In the midst of time.
But my nigga got the LeBron in his beard. Like, he got grays popping out his jaw. Like,
no, he's old. He's definitely old.
Yeah, he's an older dude. He's an older dude. And I can't talk. He probably my age, but but
Dead man, he'll give you 6 and 6. So
let's get we got to Miami and we gonna get to them. I want to get back to the Lakers, right? Because it's funny, right? The Mavericks game, the last game, the one that basically put y'all at the loss to tie y'all with the Spurs to kick you out of contention into the play-in tournament. LeBron didn't play at all.
LeBron nor Davis played at all.
Oh, we all know Davis wasn't going to play. We knew that.
Right.
So I guess I don't think that LeBron would ever quit on a season. So I'm thinking there has to be a method to their madness, right? Because they are still tied with the Spurs. It's not like they're firm at 11, 1 game back from the whoever's at 10.
Yeah.
It's a tie. They still have 7 games left in the season. And if you don't play LeBron or Davis in a game that could potentially for statistics and articles' sake, bump you out of the play-in tournament. I feel like there's a reason behind that. I feel like they're studying the next closest teams, because I do believe the Spurs have Memphis coming up.
So LeBron was out with an ankle.
So he was legit injured. It wasn't like a recovery.
No. And you got to think, Cliff, for his age, at the high level that he plays, and
he needs them.
He can. It's just like a nice old car. Like, motherfucker, you can only run for so long. You need an oil change, or you need a tune-up. You know what I mean?
No, I completely understand. My thing is, regardless of if your car is old, if you know you're far from home, you'll drive that bitch through the oil change. I gotta get home. I'll get the oil change when I get home, right? So my whole thing is, around
and seize up.
Well, what my point being made is, if this was it, if this was the game that made or broke the Lakers from getting into the tournament, you can guarantee that car would have been running in LeBron. He'd have been out on that floor. But the fact that it wasn't, it was just a statistic drop out of contention, I don't think there's cause to be concerned as far as them making it. No, I don't know if they get past it.
Right.
But I do think that you do see the Lakers in the play-in tournament.
What do you think is more advantageous? Like, what do you think is to their advantage as far as, like, do you struggle to make the play-in and get embarrassed, or do you just kind of just how many games? 7 games? 6 games?
Well, wait, with the play-in tournament?
I'm talking how many games left in the season.
7 for the Lakers. Well, it's different
just take these 7 games and just drift on off. You know what I'm saying? Regroup, get a good rest, and come back next year. Or do we stress it out and try to make it work, basically, right? And try to soldier through the first round of the play-in tournament and try to make a miracle happen. Is it worth it?
LeBron's gonna at least do that for legacy.
All right, we gonna see. I don't know.
And again, it comes to the territory. So, like, as Lakers fans, like, we're gonna be upset either way, whether we make the play-in or don't make the play-in, or whatever you want to say, lose the first, whatever the situation, we're gonna be upset either way. But if you bomb the season, if you tank the season, that's a problem. I'm sure that's a problem in LA, especially let Westbrook be the reason. Fuck LeBron for a second. Let it be Westbrook's ass that takes our chances of making the playoffs, and he's from LA, and they already said that shit we talked about when they threatened him and his family.
I think that's another reason that kind of why LeBron can't. You can't afford to start tanking in this situation, because you know that a lot of that fall is going to be placed on Westbrook.
The whole LA will Will Smith Westbrook if it's Westbrook's fault and the Lakers lose.
And you know what? I actually had that question written down in my book. If they do not make the play-in tournament, what happens to Westbrook? And I know that's a very general question, right? But there's something else coming behind that. So regardless of if y'all make it, myself, I still think that Westbrook is out of there regardless. But if they don't make it at all, what happens to Westbrook?
I think they trade him.
But who do you trade him to?
Somebody who looking to sell a lot of seats next season.
Yeah. That's a good point. That's what I was looking for, because I didn't think about that. Because I'm not saying, I'm still, even though Westbrook hasn't had the best season, I'm still an advocate for him. I'm not saying that he's the best player, but I always try
Everybody loves his energy, man. He has that energy, man.
Right.
Yeah.
You love that energy in anybody.
But how many teams, that's what I'm getting at, is how many teams on the I don't want to say the downfall, but how many low-tier teams attempting to climb up can risk having a potential banana in their tailpipe?
He can always
like
Westbrook. He can always go to the Kings, bro.
I don't think the Kings would want him. I don't think the Kings.
Nah, they did.
He can put the aggressive side in De'Aaron Fox, and I don't know if Buddy Hield's still on that team. I doubt it. I haven't been following him.
But he's not.
All right. Well, look,
Halliburton and Sabonis, Domantas Sabonis is now on there.
One of them boys got traded, didn't
they? Yeah, Halliburton's gone.
Yeah, he got traded.
No, Halliburton. Yeah. Oh right, no, he's in Indiana. Yeah. I'm tripping.
Yeah, he was in the Sabonis trade.
Aaron Fox.
No,
Aaron Fox.
He's still there. Originally we were talking about who they have, and I was saying Domantas Sabonis, and I'm trying to think who the other one they picked up is.
I'm saying if you're talking about a landing destination where he would be welcome, Sacktown.
No,
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
All right.
And this is it. Now listen, because I thought about this, right? I don't think so in Sacramento. I don't think so in Detroit. I don't think so in Orlando.
Well, maybe Boston. Well, we can agree that his career is coming to an end.
You said maybe
right?
Boston.
Mm-hmm. No,
fuck no, they don't want. They don't want to rest.
Whoa, that's. No,
they don't want to rep.
No.
So y'all have no landing destination.
No, wait a minute.
No, I'm
not
saying he doesn't get picked up by anyone because Danny made a great point. I think that's why he strived in OKC for so long because they don't have a market like that. They're not even on TV like that.
No, right.
So it's like, to OKC, Russ is in a microcosm. You know what I'm saying? Where we don't see him fucking up like this. But they also see him balling out, so the people may feel a certain kind of way, either may love him or may hate him, but we don't know what to feel about him.
All I'm saying is Sacktown is the OKC of the West Coast. That's what I'm trying to say. But it's still in
California, though. They still are of a certain caliber, you know? They had Chris Webber, and they
why not go back to OKC?
Yeah, Chris Webber. They had Chris Webber.
No, I'm saying,
when was that?
I'm saying though they were known for greatness at one time. Doug Christie, Chris Webber,
Mike Bibby.
I'm trying to think of the dude who he's a GM now, isn't he? Not the GM. He's a part
Vlade Divac.
Divac. All I'm saying is they were great at one point, and now they're trying to fight to get better.
Oh shit! OKC made the finals one time. Sac has never been to the finals ever.
But OKC also made the finals with arguably the best scorer that's ever graced the court.
Sac never had no Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden combination.
But what combination comes with adding a Russ?
If I'm a GM in Sacramento, I'm going after Russell.
Nah, I think Hughes.
I might get fired for that shit, but whatever it is, nigga.
I think Hughes onto something. I think you see Russell in like a Utah, maybe back like you said, the OKC, like those states that don't get high national TV coverage.
You be a Pelican.
No, because New Orleans still.
Oh no! Y'all.
In New Orleans, it's kind of on the way up as far as the amount of exposure they get.
They got some fans. They got some fans.
They got Zion. Man. They tried to schedule more games on national TV because of that.
What about John Morant and Russell Westbrook combination? Does that interest y'all fancy? I'm just throwing shit out there. I like trying to find a place.
You know what? As oddly as that sounds, I think that could potentially have a potential of working because Malk, I always say that I think John Morant is a true 2, like Allen Iverson. Like how Allen Iverson moved to the 2 and he started damaging folks. I feel like Ja would do the same thing. And I think that Russ's willingness to pass would help benefit Ja, coming into that 2 role. I could see that potentially working.
That's the best chance at a championship then.
Why?
True.
But why add a Russell Westbrook when you already got a good thing going?
That's
Desmond.
No, everybody. Hey, look, Desmond Bain.
Desmond Bain.
That nigga, he had a good ass game.
That's the counter that Chris Rock missed. So I give you peace for that.
Like you seen Dylan Brooks up there with the
and he was slowed down.
With the flow back.
I don't think that's a fucked up perm. It does look like it. It looks like one of them old.
Wrong, nigga.
But no, I think that's just his natural.
No, your shit look ashy, my nigga.
I think that's his natural hair texture, though. Like, I don't think he's working the old, with the fishnet wrap you put on. I don't think he's doing that.
He's not conditioning. He need to condition.
Oh man,
conditioner, my nigga. Still shit right.
He been in Memphis too long. That's all.
Shit lack moisture, my nigga. Your shit dry as fuck.
Damn.
But yeah, no, I don't know that.
Plus, I feel like he would slow down John Morant's production, Russell Westbrook, because he turns over the ball too much. He fucks up the.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It depends on what production it was. It would definitely slow down his production if he was still playing the 1. But if you put him at the 2, I don't think that slows down his production at all. I actually think it speeds up his production because Russ is going to be trying to get him the ball every play down court. He's my first option. If he's open, I'm hitting him. Right, and you know that Ja is improving his 3-point shot. So now with a guy like Russ getting you the ball, improve your catch and shoot. Not just dribbling into a 3 or deciding you're going to take a 3, catch that ball, put that ball up immediately. Russ is going to get you the oops. Like, I really don't see a area where that's awful to me other than Russ's recklessness. And Ja is not a big frame. You can't afford to put him in a bad situation. It's almost like throwing across the middle with a wide receiver that's not big enough to take it. You don't want to put Ja in a bad spot, throwing him a sloppy lob and get him hurt going up with the big dogs down there. And that's where I see it being an issue because Russ can get reckless with all of his play. So I don't know.
Yeah. He's just a wild player to me. I feel like he just hurts the team a lot.
But I don't think that was as bad of a toss out as you would first think.
I can see Russ in Toronto.
That's a good toss out.
I had to get the baby face, nigga.
Pascal Siakam.
That's a good landing spot. Look, Toronto niggas is nice. And they're gonna appreciate that weird shit that you be doing when you be wearing weird shit when you come to the court. They're gonna appreciate that shit. I'm big. That's actually a good suggestion because it fits his personality. Like in Toronto, they're not gonna judge you really tough.
They're not as harsh as we would be here.
Right. Just because you're from LA doesn't mean them niggas gonna treat you any better than anybody else.
Right.
Right. Anytime you go home, niggas gonna be like, we know where you from, what you done did. We not gonna let you slide.
Right.
That bullshit you talking about. And I think he's getting called in that too. Like he's been called at the games where he probably seen somebody he grew up with or some shit in the crowd. And they can talk some shit about him. He ain't produced. I think you can avoid that in Toronto very easily.
Right.
That's what I say. You in Toronto, they're just happy that you're there. Right. Kawhi left us. We don't got Kyle no more. DeMar done left. We don't got that nigga Norman Powell and got the N1 deal. Went to the Blazers, forgot about it. All they got now is what, Siakam?
Pascal Siakam. They got
Fred VanVleet.
They got Fred VanVleet. They got what's the name? Anobi.
Yeah. And
OG.
Yeah, Anunoby. I said Anobi. Anunoby.
Toronto Raptors.
I think I like him. I like OG Anunoby.
Malcolm, I think you're 100% right on that. I think
so too.
Push to go to Toronto. Get in there. You can wear them weird ass sweaters and all that.
They got Gary
Trent that shit, nigga. Like, who minted that shit, nigga?
Listen, and that would be the best.
They got a squad.
I made that joke about Russ potentially starting his fashion career because I know he got it in him, and he's probably.
It's in him. It's definitely in him because that's. I will admit this. I'm not fashion forward.
I'm not either.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not the nigga that's up on the latest and all that shit. So
I dress like a
what he's
superhero.
wearing is futuristic, and as a regular person, that shit's weird to me. Right? But he's on another level. That shit, I can see why he has the confidence. If you have the confidence to wear that shit, it means you're a very confident person. Right. So I'm trying to give him some peas because I will never wear that sweater.
What sweater are we talking about?
The Kyle Kuzma.
I almost want to get the picture of it. It's like somebody, a kid made it or something. It's like
I think I know what you're talking about.
Oh, that's the one where his kid made a picture, and he had it printed on a sweater, and he wore the sweater to let his kid see it on TV and say,
"That's beautiful."
Is that what that was, though? Are we sure that that's what that was? Is that the sweater we're thinking of?
I didn't know it had a backstory so deep and rich.
Yeah, that's what he said in the press conference. He said, hold on, y'all probably can't. This is some scribble scrabble my daughter made because she's in kindergarten. But anyways, I would probably get it if it was dear to her. And I was fuck it.
I completely understand that.
That's what that was. I love it. That's what that was.
That's what you like. I love it.
So, my question is that the sweater that I'm. Listen, there's been a lot of culprits out there. All right, it's not like Russell Westbrook has just wore one crazy sweater. So I don't know.
He dresses wild.
Didn't he have the one with the sleeves past his hands?
Remember Bill Cosby? Not to bring him up, but the Golden Gartrell shit when they had made the shirt up and she was all uneven and shit. It was like this.
Yeah,
that is the fashion now. That is the fashion.
I mean, that to each your own. Shit.
That's all I'm trying to say.
But I said that to say that
I'm wearing a Swoop shirt, man. Shout Cheryl Swoops.
Shout Swoops.
You know what I'm saying?
I met her.
You did. She cool.
I mean, it wasn't nothing other than hey, let me sign something, but.
Wow. I feel you.
But not like I, sat down.
You did meet her if she signed something for you, especially.
Right. I can't remember where I was.
So breaking news. It
says
Will Smith was asked to leave the Oscars, but refused. The Academy stated.
Get the fuck out of here, man. Come on now. Now that might make sense, right? Because they say Oscar's so white. I don't know what kind of security you got in there. They probably didn't expect.
They say Will run on some I don't know. But
Will used to. It's all in the book.
I don't know what the situation is. I don't have that money to even understand.
It's all in the book. Will used to when he was in Philly and he was doing the rapping thing and all that, and he got asked by the FBI. Well, he got called by the FBI to inform him of the people he was around, and he got out of it type shit. But I don't know that he came back and just
look at the crib. I was finally there. Get his ass out of there.
You stupid. But I don't know if he's still running with the same crowd. I doubt it. Is all I'm saying. I don't know if he tough enough to where can't nobody get him out. You just gonna refuse and they get all right, he said no shit.
Like a lot of people said though, he smacked the right person.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's why I don't want to get back into it.
I just want to say that part real quick. Yeah,
I don't respect the situation. I don't care what all the females saying, thinking that he's standing up for it. I don't respect the situation. And I understand what they're saying, the female hurt and a female's hair is their life and all. I get all that. But that man gets paid to entertain. We're sitting front row. We're easy targets. Understand. Jokes may be thrown.
I shouldn't have to say nothing. I'm about to make $100 million next year. Chill out.
Right.
Just sit back and relax. We'll deal with it later.
We'll deal with it backstage. We'll deal with it at the after party. We'll deal with it anywhere but here. Like it's almost like people were saying, like, he feels so emasculated by the whole past of the situation that went down. He wanted his opportunity to show his masculinity, but it ended up looking even more bitch, because it's like, damn, my nigga, like,
if you're gonna trash somebody, we're not gonna go that far into it, but if you're gonna
I don't agree with the August Alsina either. Like, if you're gonna hit somebody, hit August. Nah,
no, I'm not even saying that. What I'm trying to say is that if you're gonna have that type of animosity, be even with it, right? Be fair with it. Be known as somebody that's willing to do something on some bullshit.
Right.
Don't be somebody that's trusted, right? You trust with. If Will Smith walked up on that stage for about 2-3 steps, I'm like, oh, it's Will Smith. Wait a minute.
Right. This nigga straightened out his collar one too many times. Now I feel like something's about to happen.
You know, sign something, you ain't gonna sign. Ooh.
That's like right. That's like somebody unbuttoning they
you're not finna jump off on me.
Like,
you're not finna jump off on me like that. Not like that.
Okay.
Nothing.
But yeah, that wasn't it. Chris Rock took a smack that was deserved for a lot of other people but him. Maybe including him. But that smack wasn't just because of the joke. It was because of a history of situations that have happened to a specific man, and he felt like he had enough at the wrong time. But fuck him. He ain't put up no jump shot, and his follow through wasn't good enough to swish. So
we seen his jump shot in the intro video. It was terrible. It went off the back.
Right, and skip my whole nigga's boombox.
I bet you getting your ass whooped. You was in the wrong way the whole time.
Listen, that's connected.
So
but
Cliff, what's the Cavs going to do?
I'm glad you said that.
I see Mobley is out the next 3 games with an ankle sprain.
Correct. They did do an X-ray, and there's no serious injury there, so that's a good thing. I do think he should sit out the full 3, maybe even 4.
What kind of position does that leave the Cavs in if he were to sit out those games?
Now,
what?
You said what, cuz?
Number 6?
7 right now.
Oh. They dropping.
Yeah, we that's 7, but 6 is only that's Toronto, and they 41 and 32.
How many games y'all behind? A half game or a game?
They're full game.
Yeah, full game, because we're 42 and 33, and they're 43 and 32.
I keep it a buck, man. They'll be in the play-in.
Yeah, they'll still be in the play-in if they sit them for the 4 games. My only concern with that, though, is that may risk you the Rookie of the Year.
That's what it says. It says,
you know where I stand at on Rookie of the Year, so.
You said what?
You know where I stand at on Rookie of the Year.
Ricky, where you stand? Enlighten me.
You know where I stand at. I stand with Cade.
Listen, I've been saying Cunningham. That too, and that's what I'm saying. But the only reason why I don't now, like the only reason why I have swayed on my opinion is when you look at Detroit, it's not really much improvement.
True.
And it's not like Cade is the only person you got. You still got Sadiq Bey and all them out there with you too. You got Beef Stewart. You got all them people out there with you too. And Cade Cunningham didn't really do too much improvement from a record standpoint. So regardless of that 15-5-5 you putting up, it's not helping your team. Now, when you look at a Mobley who stepped in for a Jared Allen, he's been dominant even at the 4 position. Regardless of his stats being slightly lower, his team is vastly better.
They're better, but they're slumping. They've dropped to the 7th seed.
Well, the only reason why they dropped to the 7th seed is because he's had to take on that center role.
And
I said that ain't his position.
In Cade's position, I mean, he's looked at as he has to be the alpha dog. He put up 34 last night against the Nets and kept them in the game.
He doesn't have to be. He's expected to be because he's the number one pick, but let's not act like Sadiq Bey hasn't put up 42 this year.
I'm not saying that, but if I look at a game where they played the Nets last night, in the closing moments, they looking for Cade. Right. Like, here. He couldn't even facilitate because they wanted him to have the ball last night.
I would feel the same way if I was the coach.
I mean, you would feel the same way. What is as far as him getting the ball?
Get that motherfucker to Cade. Don't only hit Sadiq if he is he's the second. Cade's the first. Sadiq Bey's second.
So he's more important to his team than Evan Mobley. That's what you're saying.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so, because that comes down to what you just asked me is last second who I'm putting the ball in the hands of. That's not Evan Mobley's job in Cleveland. Evan Mobley's job is to prevent us to ever have to put it in the hands of somebody last second. Hit them boards, get them rebounds, get your open shots, catch them oops from Darius. But the fact is, since Jarrett has been out, his assignment has changed.
True. And he wasn't up for it.
And while he was good at that assignment at USC in college, we all know that 5 spot in the NBA is completely different. And he's not built for it. You've heard me say it. He's not built to play the 5. So the fact that you're now making him bang around with them, of course you had to know injury was inevitable.
Oh, yeah.
It's his rookie year. You at least have to build the body before you put him out there. Like, build the frame first.
What I tell you they should have done? I would have just...
What you say?
I would have just put Ed Davis out there.
Yeah, you did say that. And I wouldn't be mad at that because we're not against losing an Ed Davis. Or, no, fuck that. We got Miles Brown since then.
That's true.
I'm not saying he's expendable, but he's expendable. We don't need him going into the playoffs to win. We would like.
I'm not looking at it from a standpoint of anybody get beat up, but don't let it be Evan.
That's what happens.
Don't let it be Evan.
Right.
Don't let it be Evan.
That's your stock. That's what you're putting stock into, the future. You can't just put him at the 5 and leave him there and expect him to be healthy for the rest of the season. And he hasn't even been through adequate weight training. We haven't. Everybody knows it's the second and third years where you start seeing players put on their natural weight to be able to hold their own in the NBA. You can't just allow a 7-foot linky rookie to do that with some of these beasts. We saw Isaiah Stewart down there trying to take out LeBron, and he's on Detroit, right? He's not even a top-tier team. So imagine the centers you're going at on top-tier teams, and you're a rookie, an undersized rookie at that position. And I don't mean undersized for the people listening in height. I mean undersized as in, it's almost like NBA 2K. I'm building my man and I'm bringing his weight all the way down low, but I'm making him a power forward and doing that and then putting him at the center position. It's going to be tough.
Right.
It's just going to be tough.
Well, I mean, I get you. I get you, but I mean, they've asked him to step up, and to me, he didn't answer the bell. I get what you're saying, but from a standpoint as how Detroit has progressed throughout the season and kept themselves in games, not registering wins like they should be if they were on a better team or had a better makeup. Maybe, kept some pieces they gave away a while ago, but we'll leave that alone.
I don't know if I would say answering the bell. I'm gonna let you continue your thought. But I don't think I'll say answering the bell.
I'm just saying I put Cade there. He's impressed me. He's putting up the numbers and he's showing up. Like I said, it's not registering wins, but he's caught my eye compared to me watching Evan Mobley play on the court.
Right.
Let me put it that way.
No, that's very fair to state. That's very fair to state. But the only reason why I say I don't necessarily agree is because even looking back at his past games playing at the center position, I'm just looking through stats. The last page I flipped to, 30 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals. Now, of course, you need to increase your rebounds, but that's a great stat for any center in any Eastern or Western. I go back to the previous week, And I see 22 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, 5 steals. That's very impressive considering where your team is and you playing a position you're not assigned to. So that's what evens it out. And you got to understand as well, I'm a Cavs fan, so I'm watching it, as a... Now, I can't say I'm doing the same for Cade. I can't say that. But I can also say Detroit's not on anybody's radar, so why should I?
You also got to think at this point in the season, this is going to be a lot of mop-up time.
Right.
And you're going to score a little bit extra. A little bit extra. Not like it's not credited, but still, in the third quarter, throughout the fourth quarter, you score 12, 15 points on, whatever points you had before. You got a good stat line, whatever it is. You got 35, 3, and whatever. I'm just saying. But they both got valid points. I was listening to what y'all saying.
No, because Malk knows, I was saying for a while, I don't know why Evan Mobley is at the top of the rookie ladder.
Right.
I was saying I think it should be Cade Cunningham. And then, as Malk knows, there was one episode where I said, you know what, thinking about standings, I understand why they may have him there. Because no one expected Cleveland to do what they're doing this year. No one.
Right. No,
everyone expected Detroit. Well, you know what? Detroit might have even come under par as far as the expectation with Cade Cunningham now.
Darius Garland credit, though, man. You was talking about Darius Garland last year. You was talking about him. And I was not listening. That nigga fuck around was an all-star and shit. Yeah. Like, damn, he was right about him.
Listen, dropping 40 on motherfuckers.
Who else made the team? Was that him?
You said... Colin Sexton, but he I'm
talking about the All-Star team.
But all of them did. Well, Evan made it because he the rookie, the new shit, and then Jared Allen made it because James Harden was hurt.
Yeah. But still, you brought up Darius Garland last year. I remember that. He was like, he's gonna be a dog. He ended up being an all-star.
And I said, Colin Sexton being hurt is the best thing to happen to Darius Garland because now he has the opportunity to improve on his own without, I don't want to say it, but let's be honest, Colin Sexton is somewhat of a ball hog. You got to learn how to be a true point guard, average triple doubles for a season, and still get your points. You couldn't have done that with Colin Sexton on the floor. Now, when Colin Sexton comes back now, you already have your confidence. You have enough confidence to say, nah, G, get open. I'm running it up.
Well, I mean, do you keep a Colin Sexton then?
I do.
You know what I mean?
I do, just for the simple fact, and I'm glad you brought that up because I have that written down as well. Colin Sexton getting hurt is the best thing to happen to the Cavs.
What type of hurt is he? Is he coming back this year or?
No, he's not coming back this year. Torn meniscus. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he may be back start of next season. I actually saw him on a Twitter post dated February 25th. He was taking 3-point shots, but he wasn't even putting weight on his knee. He was doing it off of one leg and keeping the other leg extended a bit.
So he did shots. Ah, there you go, young blood.
Right. That's exactly what that was. Yeah, now, it did look good. Now, I'm not going to say it didn't look good, but I was concerned that maybe changing his shot up. I'd much rather have him shooting from a chair than having him out there doing jump shots on one leg. Like, then he develops the habit of taking jump shots off one leg when the season. Nah, I'm good on that.
They usually develop their offhand in those situations. You get if you're right hand, your offhand, whatever it is. You usually develop that in that time. You have a lot of time just to, let me just see this.
Right. That's interesting.
Left hand.
Yeah, because it does feel different.
Right. But I say that to say the reason why I said it's the best thing to happen to Cleveland is because this was his free agency year. And each year he had improved. Rookie year averaged I think it was 16. Second year averaged 24. Third year was on the path to averaging some higher numbers than the previous. And then you get hurt. You know what I'm saying? So it's like where we might have had to pay you a contract to keep you. Nah, not so much. We can give you a low 1-year deal just to see where you are after injury and reassess the following year. So now we can keep you. Whereas before it was like, we gonna have to get rid of this motherfucker. He merits too big of a contract. He's playing too good to be taken on a little contract. And there were teams asking about him, like, what y'all doing with Colin Sexton? He's gonna be a free agent next year.
Yeah.
Now I don't think so many people are. You are a fool. Now I don't think so many people are asking about him at the moment because of injury. So you lose suitors, and which is a plus for Cleveland, and you don't have to pay him as much, which is a plus for Cleveland, and you don't have to give him a contract with multiple years on it, which is also a plus for Cleveland. Don't get me wrong, it's bad for Colin, but most time injuries are bad for players.
I don't know. LeBron might need to start recruiting for next year.
Yeah, he's been recruiting, man. That's what the problem kind of is.
I'm saying they want to get rid of Russell so bad, right?
But look,
he trying to get Curry. Curry's on the ticket. He been trying to get Curry for years now.
I'd love to have stuff.
LeBron is the gatekeeper.
He's just as injury prone though.
He's just but still though.
That's not a help.
So Russell Westbrook.
Not saying not a help, but continue. I'm sorry.
I'm saying Russell Westbrook had to have been a 2 or a 3rd option. He tried to get somebody first, couldn't get them. But Russell, he wanted to come 2 or 3, whatever the position was, bring him on. He thought he could do something with it, and it has not worked out.
Nope.
My nigga. I mean, look, it's one of the things where on paper I'd have did the same shit. I probably made the same mistake. That's how I'm gonna come at it with it. Like I might have made the same mistake, but
I agree.
You gotta own up to it at the same time. Look, I wanted him to come here. It didn't work out. Anthony Davis.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Do you think that the rockiness of Golden State with Klay Thompson coming back, do you think that could make Steph look at potentially going somewhere else? And I'm not saying like they've been rocky as far as like record wise, but you can
they're on a losing streak. They was on a losing streak for a little while.
Yeah, they haven't been the best, but they've also come through in certain points where I'm like, okay, didn't quite expect that, But
so is this a GM question, or is this if I'm Steph Curry question?
I'm saying if I'm a Steph Curry, because GM doesn't have nothing to do with that. If Steph wants out, Steph wants out. My whole thing is there was that whole incident with Klay throwing a tantrum because Steph took a shot and didn't see him wide open on the court. Then there was that whole incident of Klay.
You know that's pent up energy. That's 2 years.
I understand that, but I expect that to taper off, right? I don't expect that to continue. Then I see that second incident with them against New York where Klay had a great shot, took the dribble, decided to pass up giving anybody else a shot and take the final shot, bricked it off of the thing. And then there was the issue. It was another one after that. Slips my mind currently. But what I'm getting at is, listen, three's company, as we know. Like, now 1 or 2, I understand that. But you haven't even been back for a whole fucking season, my nigga. Chill the fuck out. You still know whose team this is. It's the same person's team it was before you got injured. Why are you coming back now like you have to be that guy? It seems to me like it's vastly approaching the point of this town's only big enough for one of us, G. You're getting to the point that you want your own team. I understand that. Can't have you here acting like that. Or
Klay Thompson, and I hope what you're saying is wrong. I hope what you're saying is wrong.
I do
I'm not saying, but what I'm saying is, look at the differences. Klay Thompson sponsors chocolate milk, I think, or some shit like that, right? And then you have Steph Curry that has way more advertisements. He's the face of the team. He's been gone for 2 years. You come back. I don't know what the jealousy factor in this is.
Klay Thompson has a shoe in China.
So, but look. Steph
I mean like a Chinese.
Steph Curry's Under Armour though.
But I mean a Chinese brand shoe. We can't even buy Klay Thompsons in the United States without having them shipped overseas to us.
I gotta look that shoe up before I call it garbage because I want to call it garbage, but I also want to look at it.
Listen, it's garbaggio, but
okay, let me look it up.
Yeah, look it up, but
What's Klay Thompson's shoe?
But that's interesting. Yeah, that's interesting because you said he it's chocolate milk.
You want to rejuvenate after a long game? Drink you some chocolate milk.
Meanwhile, Paul George on Gatorade commercials.
That's the worst advice ever given to somebody. Did you play football? Quentin, you play football?
Yeah.
You got 2 a days. The last thing you want to do is drink milk.
Right.
After you done ran for 6 hours.
You stupid as fuck, man.
Here goes some chocolate milk.
Did you look
hey, whatever they fed you while you was there.
No, you get a break, I guess. I don't know how your shit went.
Yeah,
they fed. Nah, we still stayed there. We had to eat.
Nah, we ain't getting no food. Shit.
No, we had to get your own food.
Right.
You got a break. That's what I'm saying.
You know me. You remember mine. I had to ride my bike a lot of times. So sometimes.
I did that. I just stayed where I was at.
Listen.
I just chilled.
Well, ours wasn't no break for real. You know, his coach saying, "Hey, it's time to go eat," and we go eat and take a breather.
We had a 2-hour practice in the morning, and then we got 3-4 hours off, and then had another 2-hour practice at 3 or 2 to 4.
I don't remember it like that, nigga. I remember a 2-hour break. So it was 6 to 10.
That might be right.
And then 12 to 3 or some shit.
That might be right.
That's why they said Florida is one of the tougher football states.
I lived in Orlando for a year, my nigga. I don't know what y'all do with the sun, but y'all just ignore something like it just don't exist. That should be
be out there.
Y'all got no clouds or nothing. It just be sun the whole time.
You got that breeze out the water, depending on how close you stay.
I was in Orlando, my nigga. I ain't getting no breeze.
Oh, nah. You too many trees. Too many trees.
And lizards, nigga, and motherfucker.
He said suns and lizards. How many of them motherfucking suns?
This nigga know about lizards. The motherfucker be in the crib. Exactly.
I remember we seen.
We ain't talking about these now. We ain't talking about these.
Oh, I'm out of there. I'm out of there.
What's like this?
No, you.
Or accident motherfuckers, man. Fuck that.
I'm out of there. I'm out of there. Can't kill no lizard.
Fuck
I can step on a spider or something. A lizard, though?
You get him in
I can kill it.
I'll tell you this, so you ain't never going to see no roaches. You ain't never going to see no roaches.
Oh, I bet.
You're going to see a lizard or two, yes. You never see no roaches.
They get snakes and shit, too. Alligators might end up in your pool.
Well, you never know. I might end up keeping one as a pet.
Right. That's what I was thinking, too.
Let this motherfucker run around this bitch, then be like, Jeffrey! It's a fucking bug over here. Get it.
Motherfucker.
Isn't that ignorant? Wasn't that Will's butler?
Yeah.
Probably smacked that nigga too. Now Jeffrey would have smacked this bitch ass back.
Yeah.
Jeffrey would.
Yeah, he would.
Shit.
And I think even his real, not even his character, even the real person, wasn't he like Haitian or something like that? He was something different.
He was British.
Yeah, he was British.
At what it was. Yeah, well, he probably wouldn't. He might have smacked him with a glove. I knew it was foreign. I just listen. That might be the racist black in me. I just picked the blackest.
They Klay Thompson shoes, man. I can't find the actual who makes the shoe.
That's what I'm saying. It's like
Anta. Is it Anta?
No, I think it's something. It's like something crazy. I'm telling you, it's like Kazumi or something crazy like that. I'm trying to tell you, man.
This nigga got some old Korean pop shoes.
And this was a while ago too. This is probably
I see the whole list of shoes. I just ain't got no name to it.
Listen.
It's Anta. Nigga, some shit. Anta.
Listen, I don't know if he re-signed, if he renegotiated his deal.
Nah, it's ANTA. That's the name of the shoe.
I don't know if he renegotiated his podiatry deal, but
nigga said podiatry.
Man, Luca out here balling on y'all right now, Cliff.
Is he?
Man,
I expected such though. I expected we probably ain't gonna get we might get a win. What is that, Saturday?
You better pray you get a win.
Y'all got scheduled wins.
Yeah, I mean, I do for them. But nah, I'm not saying by no means that we might. I'm just saying we play Atlanta on Saturday. I know that's not the easiest team, but we fared well against them.
That's a key game too.
Right. I'm not gonna say and it might not even be Saturday. It might be Friday. I can't remember the actual date. I'm not saying I'm confident. I'm just saying I expected the Dallas loss to take place. The Atlanta one is the one I'll watch in anticipation to see what happens.
Who are they playing at?
It's a good question. Let me look it up because I can't remember off the top of my head.
I already been embarrassed at the Hawks game, repping this bullshit. So,
well, I ain't gonna be up there in a Cleveland jersey watching it if it's at Atlanta.
If you gave me a Cleveland jersey, I will go up there and rep that shit for you. So I don't like the Hawks like that. But it's I won't say it's a tough place to play.
We down 8 in the third quarter. What are you talking about?
So wait a minute. So where are y'all playing at though?
Well, this is Dallas, Cleveland. I wasn't talking about the Hawks.
Oh, okay.
We down 8, man. You know Cleveland been down 20 in the third quarter and came back and won by 10. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
This is at the Hawks.
It's not a tough place to play, but it's definitely a place where
right. Yeah, this is at the Hawks. But yeah, I didn't expect this one to go well. I'm not gonna lie. And Evan's not gonna be back for the Hawks game either. So that means that, like we joked about earlier, Moses Brown may have to be your starting center. Or, like you said, Ed Davis. I would go with Moses Brown because I want him to have as much repetition with a new team as possible before we enter the play-ins and the playoffs. And then if you start slipping, Ed, get your ass in there and, bang some... Do that.
Yeah.
Hurt somebody.
I wanted to say
his elbow. Go right across my blah.
I wanted to do a Ed Davis or not Ed Davis, Dwayne Dedman reference, but I couldn't think of one. I wasn't quick enough off the draw to think of a.
Now, did they ever put a timetable on Jared Allen?
Well, they said that since he opted out of the surgery, he could potentially be back for playoffs. Now,
look at hamstring or something.
Well, no, not surgery on his leg, surgery on his finger.
Oh.
Yeah, he had a fractured finger that they suggested surgery for, but it would have caused him to be out for longer, so he opted not to take the surgery.
This awful shit, nigga. One
Listen, it may help his jump shot.
Yeah, I mean, he don't need a jump shot.
He's been developing one.
Well, I guess
you don't act like he even didn't hit a couple threes in that challenge with the Cavs. Stop playing.
His jump shot isn't garbage. That's not the strength of his game. That's all I'm saying.
Correct. He's a garbage man.
He's a rebounder.
He's a garbage man. He cleans up everything. He gets his blocks. He'll jump with anybody.
Trust me. I'm open. Trust me.
That's probably you know what? I just connected a dot. That's probably exactly how he fractured his finger because I remember he goes up and tries to block those dunks constantly. And I remember there was one, I can't remember who dunked on him. And he went up for it and had his hand up there by the rim. And I even cringed, like, ooh, shit. Like, that looked like that could have hurt. He didn't, like, change his facial expression. He just ran down the court. I was looking for him to wince. He didn't. But I was thinking, like, that right there, all them jumps. Listen, somebody needs to start telling him, if you are anywhere from within 2 feet of the rim, don't jump. Don't jump and put your hand up in that rim. You need to be out, like, in the restricted area, like, away, like, outside of that circle when you're trying to get a block. If you're right under the rim or crossing the rim to get the block, watch where you put your fingers, my nigga.
You're gonna get posterized anyway, so watch your hand.
Fuck the poster. I'll smile for
That's
it.
what I'm saying. Watch
your
hand.
I just don't want any broken fingers trying to tip a block
That's what
away.
they call Will Chamberlain soft. Like, Will Chamberlain's a dominant player, but they called him soft
because he ain't want to break hands and shit.
Nigga, that's you know the story. Niggas had their hand, they go and dunk. Like, I could really put your hand backwards.
Right. Right.
I'm not gonna do that because I have lost a significant amount of sperm.
Lost a significant amount of sperm. Low on testosterone, so you don't want. Because I was just about to say,
I'm on a mission to do 20,000 of them things.
I was just about to say, if I was in his position, I would break him every time, and I would get hash marks tatted on my arm for how many wrists I broke on that rim, so everybody can see him.
Exactly. You should not dunk right now.
I don't care if you was a friend. You shouldn't just like Kevin Love was smart. Take the charge, because if you jump with me and we friends, you might be out for the rest of the season.
It ain't gonna look like this.
This nigga's stupid. But yeah, Cleveland, it's gonna be questionable. I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be questionable. And I even wrote it down. Even that game with the Hawks is gonna be questionable. But I'm interested to see what happens, and I don't think I'm not just gonna write that off as a loss like I would the Mavericks game. And even the Mavericks, from what I see, it seems like they still got a shot coming into it, but that's here nor there. Last I do want to say about the Cavs, we ain't even getting into no specific games or nothing like that. They been losing though. They got the last game they won against the Mavericks, 107-101, but they been losing. They lost their last two. Malk sent me the what's the name? What is that? An article or whatever that was, meme about the Cavs having the first winning season without LeBron since the 97-98 season.
Yeah.
I guess that has to be announced. I mean, that's not anything I'm.
We're Danny Ferry, nigga. You a Cleveland, we're Danny Ferry.
No.
That's not that. You remember Danny Ferry?
No.
96, 97, nigga. Danny Ferry?
No. And even back then, like, you already know me. You've known me long enough to know back then I was not as concerned with basketball.
You shouldn't have been.
It was all football and everything else. I didn't really.
They wasn't nothing. It wasn't nothing to rave about.
Zadrunas Ilgauskas?
Of course I know Big Z.
Yeah,
what you mean? You
can't
know
Danny Ferry?
Of course I remember Big Z was he back in he wasn't back in the 90s.
He was about 2001.
Right.
About two, I'll say that. I might be earlier, but I know 2001 for sure.
I would say
Darius Miles, nigga. Was
Darius Miles in the 2001 draft?
He was there before LeBron, and he was in the 2000.
Oh, you just talking about Cleveland? Yeah, I mean, of course I know that era.
Yeah, nigga.
Larry Hughes, Aaron Parker, Candace Parker's brother.
Exactly. Before 2000.
Dontel, what's his name? What's his name?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Now I'm mixing up
we talking about
R&B
Dante
singers.
Jones.
Dante Jones.
Yeah.
That nigga.
Yeah, y'all had a bunch
of Damon Jones? Was there a Damon Jones?
Y'all had Damon Jones too. Y'all had a Damon Jones too.
Did we?
Yeah.
I'm not seeing a Damon Jones.
He was like a point guard or something.
Short guy.
Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Heat.
Yep, I know exactly who you're talking about. Yep. Listen, Baron Davis.
We had him for a season, I think.
Yeah.
We had him for 3, I think.
He was balling. He was balling in that time, though. He was balling. They ain't go nowhere, but he was balling.
Right. He played one with LeBron, I think.
Yeah, he was fill-in man.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, yeah, 97, 98. It's not a lot of people from that team that I would remember to this day. Don't get me wrong, I still watched them, but I wasn't following Cleveland like I followed. That was probably around 6th, 7th grade when I started doing that. Well, I guess that's around that time.
Well, you graduated at the same time.
So right. Because 8th grade would have been, 99? So
99, 2000.
6th, 7th grade would have been 97, 98. Yeah. Well, can't remember, regardless.
I know that. I know the MJ won that year.
Can't remember. But they gonna make it. They gonna make the play-ins. I don't know if they make the playoffs. It depends on the way the cards fall and who's healthy at that time, to be honest. But I'm definitely excited to see what they do next year. Everybody's wanting Colin Sexton back, especially now that they got Karis LeVert and they have history before college and all that. So I think you see him there next year, and I'm excited to see what they do this year. Even if they make the playoffs, stay out first round. May make second round. I don't see him getting past that. And that's just me being a fan, giving my fan influence. But the Heat, they still at number 1.
That's kind of like a...
And I don't say that to, try to sin by any means.
No, I'm saying that's that's kind of like a today thing. It's like, I think the Bucks are a game or like a half a game back.
Yeah, the Bucks are a half game, and then you got Boston 1 full game, and then you got Philly a game and a half.
Games, bro.
Yeah,
7 games, man.
It's very tight.
Yeah, it's tight.
And then who you play is a very big factor. So you number 1, you might play the Nets. You number 2, you might play. Who's number 2? Who's number 7 in these?
7 is Cleveland, and the Nets are 8 right now.
Okay, and 6 is the Bulls, and then
6 is Toronto. Bulls is 5th.
Toronto 6, and then and Bulls 5th.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you have the 76ers, the Bucks, and the Celtics, and what's the other team?
You keep repeating teams, my nigga. You repeating the teams.
I'm trying to figure out. I'm rolling through it in my head right now.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. Oh, you mean outside of 7 and all that?
You mean as far he's talking more matchup wise. Who's gonna play who?
Okay.
Yeah.
So if it ended today, it'll be Miami Nets, so to speak.
I took the picture just to remind me of the matchups. I didn't know that's what you were doing. Okay, I get it now.
Yeah, it might not have sounded right.
Yeah, it didn't while you were going through your head. So right now, as it stands, the Heat would play the 8th seed, which we can't really determine.
Is it time?
Yeah. Well, no, you got the play-in.
Goes into the play-in.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
The 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th.
But who is entertaining? Who is the 8th seed?
The 8th seed currently is
Brooklyn.
Yeah, right.
All right, so who's 7?
7 for Cavs, so they would play
the Bucks.
Yep.
So
not really concerned about that game, if I'm being completely honest. If we had, well, that's different. That's different though. If Evan Mobley was that's all at center. No Jarrett, no nothing. I think that series goes.
And just give Kevin Love some peas, man. Give him something.
No, Kevin. That's what I'm saying. I think that series goes 6 or 7. I was about to say 6. I think they still put up a fight, but they take us. They take us in that with just Kevin and.
You mean presently constructed?
Yeah, that's tough.
Wait.
That's tough, but I can see it. I can see it going 5, 6, maybe even 7, depending.
I can see 5. I'll be honest with you. I can see 5, 6.
I can see 6.
Y'all have a nail biter. Somebody would have to show up big.
I don't think the Bucks have the best perimeter defense. And I think that's where Cleveland excels the most when they're on, especially with Kevin, Laurie, Darius, all them bussing.
Correct.
So I think that it evens out the matchup a bit.
I mean, you're pulling Bobby Portis out the paint, but between him and Drew Holiday, I mean, I can see them affecting that a little bit.
No, you're right. You're right. And I always forget about Drew. If I was Cleveland, nope, you can't afford to do that. You can't.
That's why they still pose a matchup problem to us.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. On Cleveland, either Isaac Okoro or Lamar Stevens out of Penn State.
So they're going to guard Chris.
Yeah.
That's not a problem. I don't think that's a problem for either.
Problem?
Not for either.
Okay.
They're both. They said that Isaac Okoro, well, this was also midway through the season, could be one of the best perimeter defenders in the league currently, second year in.
But you know about defense. Defense is one of those things where if you know what's going on, you're going to excel at it. But if you don't know what's going on,
I'm confident in both.
Ain't no amount of speed going to recover for you not knowing what the fuck.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm confident in both Lamar Stevens and Isaac Okoro's defense. The offense is where it gets tricky for both of them.
But let's not mistake Chris Middleton for being a dribble guy.
No. But he dribbles with a purpose. He's either going to the hoop or he's attempting to get open on the 3. But
he make his money off the ball.
Right. And I'm good with them. Both of them got high motors.
Okay.
I'm good with both of them. Even if we get into the deep waters and have to throw in the white boys, Dean Wade and Dylan Windler, I love them.
Hey, Wade's hurt.
Well, I'm saying defensively. Is Dean Wade hurt?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
I was wondering why I hadn't seen him. That's interesting, and I never looked it up.
Yeah, he's hurt. That's what it said.
But it's all right. I like Dylan Windler, too.
Casualties, my nigga. Casualties.
That's the issue. The Cavs have to be so far. They have to be one of the most depleted teams in injuries.
I wouldn't say the most depleted.
I said one of, not the most. I said one of. You got to think we lost Colin Sexton 11 games in. Not even, I don't think. Right.
But even with your, I wouldn't call them second options, even with your other options, this is a great season for Cleveland right now.
No, I'm not trying to take anything from that.
So however y'all got there, even though there's the injuries and Colin Sexton didn't play and Darius Garland missed some games, Jared Allen's probably not gonna play again. But you got.
Well, I don't want to put it like that again.
All right,
this season.
Not again. He's not going to play.
That just seemed harsh coming through the ears of the Cavs fan.
The rest of the season seems very unlikely.
I agree, and I wouldn't rush him back anyway. Like I wouldn't even be so willing to put him in the playoffs if he said I'm ready.
Y'all are in a spot that, frankly, all of us are surprised. We'd be hard pressed to say not to. The Cleveland Cavaliers being ranked anywhere in, y'all was at best like 3rd or 4th.
At best, we were fourth. We were never third. Y'all were beat. Remember, we had that argument. I said we want your spot.
Yeah, well, you know, whatever we're talking about. What I'm trying to say,
we still got a chance to take your spot. By the way,
he don't want to talk about that.
Right.
Right. I'm trying to give you your flowers.
I know. You were last time too, and I was still at your throat like Will Smith.
Exactly. Putting the flushing down the toilet. What I'm trying to say is that the Cavaliers, compared to last year to this year, that's a leapfrog right there. I don't know if they should have the best improved team in the NBA. That should be an award.
I think so. But are y'all not going? Like, are y'all going to sit here and keep saying all that shit and not give me my props?
About what?
And yeah, you called it. You call it every year, though. I mean, this is.
I said they're going to make the playoffs next year. They're going to be a problem the following.
You're right.
Well, they ain't there yet.
I want my props. They're there. It's already written. This is
they're the playing.
Colin Sexton has to lock it, just like Odell Beckham, and it's prophesized.
Hey, I know they ain't looking too good, but don't sleep on the Hornets and the Hawks. Do not sleep
Not worried
on
about them. I'm more so worried about the Hawks than the Hornets, even though the Hornets look better currently.
All Melo got to do is pull up a 35 piece and they win.
But what I'm saying is, that's all. He has to do.
I mean, he has those nights. He has those nights.
But
Cleveland is one of those squads he can do it against.
Nah, I don't give him that.
All right.
They're another one that gets the ass end of the stick usually when we play. I do think that they beat us the last time we played. But I think we're above on the team-to-team ranks. But I'm just saying, I think Charlotte is still on there. Don't get me wrong, they play fast and free. They play fun.
Mm-hmm.
They play fun basketball. But I think that's exactly why I don't fear them. Because while they just play fun, it's not so much tactically effective. A lot of it is attempts at energy boosters that don't come through.
I'm just looking at the health wise. They're more healthy.
Now, that all the way.
They're healthy, young, and fast. So I mean,
I agree. Oh, you're saying like
they're healthy, young, and fast.
Are you saying like walk us down, like take?
No. I'm just saying don't take it for granted.
Oh, you're saying in the play-in tournament they
in the play-in tournament they could be a problem. They could be more of a problem than the Hawks.
Oh no, I agree.
They just seem not to get it together.
I agree with that. I'm following now.
Yeah. That's all. You know.
No, I agree.
Don't say y'all. That's why I said don't say you in the playoffs just yet.
So I would be as scared. No, I didn't say we were, but I said I think that
you like your chances.
Right. And I'm saying even if we don't, honestly, even though that's like not what I said, I think that's enough. You know, for the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm not saying that for any other team, but for the Cleveland Cavaliers to where they were to where we expected them to be this year, for them to be fighting at a high seed in the play-ins, I think that's enough, like, for that prediction. Not saying that prediction is 100% correct, but we know that they would have made the playoffs if there was no play-in tournament. That's enough.
Well, I mean, you were ambitious, and you almost got it. You were very close, right? Like none of us thought this shit was going to happen, and I didn't see
Sexton going down. Jesus.
And now it's just like Cleveland is a team to beat.
Yeah,
to be in that tournament, right? Yeah. So you are the seed that makes it to where If you
sorry, I'm gonna toot my horn again.
Oh, so here, all right.
Listen, I apologize first, but listen, when have I lied? I said, and I remember Malcolm, you can quote. I said that Colin Sexton getting injured does not end our season. This is Darius Garland's opportunity to be more effective. And what have we seen?
I don't think Darius Garland. the way Darius Garland be playing, I don't think he fully realizes his potential yet. I think he has a little bit.
That's what you're taking the words out of my mouth.
No,
I'm not saying that you like are you. I don't even think you were on that show. But continue, because I want you to finish my thought.
All right. Well, all I'm trying to say is that Darius Garland got that little step up. It's available if he takes it. And I didn't see it. Like when you brought him up last year, and I'm like, this nigga is delusional. Like that's what I said in my head. All realness. I thought she was on some shit like you on the Cleveland. I mean, he's not making sense. He's not being rational. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But he was right. Darius Garland, man. He's an all-star. I don't know. I mean, he's averaging at least 20 plus. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a. All right, Look, do your what's it called?
Yeah, I'm gonna do my bows. All right,
you're doing your bows. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is, you was right, and I can't. You were the only person I heard saying that shit. That's what I'm trying to say. Nobody else is talking about, man, Darius Garland. You know what I mean? You was the only person.
And the crazy thing about it, right, is that he was coming from a low minute position. It wasn't like he was playing heavy minutes, and I predicted that. I said, now watch what happens next. That's all. I'm going to end it on that. I'm done tooting my horn. Beep, beep.
Beep, beep.
All right. Now let's get into this heat.
It's hot.
It's hot. It's hot in y'all's division, man. A lot of y'all rubbing elbows and shoulders with each other.
Talking about the dust up?
No. I'm not talking about no dust up. With Spoelstra and Haslam and them.
That was dust up.
I'm glad you brought that
news.
up, though,
That's
because while that is old news, it happened before we could cover it last week. And I know your take on the Q, but, for our showerheads out there that haven't heard, you brought up a good point when we were talking about it in the chat. What did you say exactly?
I just told you, man, that's Miami. We own what we do. We own the right to basically confront anybody and make you accountable. And that's just the Miami way. Don't come to practice. You don't come to practice like this. You ain't dressing for the game.
Right.
That's just how we roll. So it ain't no shock to me. Yeah, it should have stayed at practice where it was, but.
And you brought up the D Wade incident as well. It wasn't the first time that something like that has happened.
Nah, we can remember back in the Big Three era, there was a point in a fourth quarter of a somewhat competitive game against a team, and D Wade did something that Spoelstra didn't like, because be honest, when the Big Three played together, they'll take possessions off just because of who they were, and Spoelstra lit into him, and it was all over ESPN that night. Yada blase. Next practice, next game, we win. It's over with. Done deal. It shouldn't have happened in the game. It never should happen where
visibly happen, right?
Yeah, but
you like that though. Jimmy one of them niggas though. He gonna try it.
And we got and you got 15
one of them niggas too. Like,
and that's what I was gonna say. You got 15 more the same way.
Right. Hold up now.
Look, some niggas don't. It evened out.
He said, "I'll beat your ass." Now I beat your fucking ass.
Yeah. Look.
Right, you knew that was an issue. Even though Jimmy stood up,
that's all started. Nigga.
He wasn't wanting to just throw with him.
Nah, he wasn't gonna go toe to toe with that boy, man.
Jimmy's one of them people that he's not gonna sit there and he's not gonna take that second place too easily, which is respectable. Right, like, you're not just gonna stand up and say you're gonna beat my ass. What are we talking about right now?
Right. He was standing up with attempts to de-escalate. He wasn't standing up with attempts to Will Smith.
I'm trying to be your friend, brother.
But look, all Jimmy gotta do is say shut up, and I'm gonna beat your ass, because that's disrespectful all in itself. It don't matter what Jimmy said. He could have looked at her wrong. I beat your ass.
at that point, it's a group of men.
Yeah.
And you don't say those type of things without backing it up.
I think what it is though too, if I'm being honest, is I think Haslam knows he's not a player, he's more of a coach. And even though he doesn't have that coaching title, he's like, my nigga, like address me as such, even though I'm still wearing a jersey. And Jimmy's like, my nigga, you're wearing a jersey and you don't play. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, but see, Jimmy knows that aspect as well, so he get caught up in his true self.
Mm-hmm.
Brought him back to reality. Why not do it on live TV? If I'm Haslam, you know what I mean. You want the shine, get the shine.
I agree.
I'm Haslam, nigga. You're not finna go to the club tonight.
And guess what? We slumped a few games because of it.
Not finna go because you fucked up tonight. They're gonna be like, nah, nigga, you gonna chill out.
And we slumped a few games, and now we look like we back.
Y'all look like y'all back. Y'all got that win over the Kings 123-100. But I do feel like the fact that Domantas Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox was out, y'all really didn't have much to play against.
Everybody's doing that against the Heat these days, so it don't even matter.
What you mean? Doing what? Calling who's
sitting
out?
Sitting players.
Oh, yeah. No, you are right. You addressed that last episode.
Are we playing the Heat tonight? Hey, I need your ankles. I need your hamstring.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? We don't need y'all playing tonight.
I don't know what. No, I can't dispute that. Like, I would like to say that that's not like they don't give a fuck about it being the Heat. They just doing that. But I can't dispute that when I look at who has sat over the past few games. I can't dispute that.
Yeah. Because and we took losses being in our own little BS that we were dealing with. I'm just keep it 100 on that.
That's the league though. Like that's why it's so amazing when you see a team like the Warriors go 73 and 6 or 8 or whatever they went. Like 9, 73 and 9 they went.
Yeah, because that's 82.
82, right.
Yeah.
And then Chicago doing their thing because it's like y'all are swallowing the bullshit. Every team goes through bullshit. Doesn't matter if you have a great team or a bad team. You're not gonna have a practice for 82 games worth of practices where bullshit does not come up. It comes up. And it's great to see a team that can overcome that bullshit and make shit like that. You put up a good point, Q, saying even in the Big 3 era, you ain't see no shit like that.
Nope.
And those were so-called friends, acquaintances, people that had already known each other.
Look, a lot of people, especially nowadays, you understand that though we are all acquaintances,
right?
I know all y'all now. So, you know, in some way, shape, or form, you're an acquaintance. You know what I'm saying? I don't know you like that to start business with your ass. But somebody that's proven in the game to make money, I will move with that person. And that's a game that's being realized by a lot of agents and people around the NBA. Look, just because I grew up with you, no offense, I know somebody else that can do a way better job.
Right. No, that's a great fucking point. That's a great fucking point.
Everybody don't have a Rich Paul.
Look,
right. Listen,
my nigga, he comes to the birthday party and all that, my mama and all that, whatever. But you gotta bring something to the table.
I know exactly what you said, baby. You ain't got to listen. I know exactly what you said.
Yeah.
And that's interesting when you think of it from a standpoint of us as opposed to a standpoint of essentially a boy band. You're putting a boy band together. You know what I'm saying? You're expecting these people to hit this choreography.
Why does
they
he
don't know each other like that?
Because he can sing like that, nigga.
Right.
Hit the spin move, I tell you. This thing, nigga.
But that's what it is, though. I definitely understand. Like that's a dot connection point, and that's another point that we don't think of as fans. You know, Like, very rarely do we think of the business side of things. And we think of players and we say that those players should go well together. But you don't know what's happening outside of the game, outside of what's going on the court. Contracts. Everybody's been through it. You work for a job and you like, wait, this motherfucker don't do half the shit I do. How they getting paid more than I do? Now I'm upset. I'm boycotting my position.
You getting $30 million a year? Dang. 30?
Right. When you come on, how long you been in the league? 4 years?
I'm getting $10 million a year, but I've been
okay.
$30 million a year.
How many rebounds you got on your stats?
Okay.
10. Damn that. I got 35 minutes again. You got 15?
Right.
Yeah.
right. Exactly. Though.
Hey, when you get money in the NBA, you gotta ask.
You start doing the math. Bubbles start popping up above your head. Like
how much you said your paycheck was? I mean,
damn, half your minutes in the fourth quarter. Why?
Is this prime time?
All right. I gotta talk to the GM about something. Next thing you know, it's leaked. Jimmy Butler talked to the GM about why the fuck Udonis Haslem making more than 2.5 if he ain't stepped on the court, and this nigga got the nerve to talk to me.
I haven't seen this nigga break a sweat. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
He has not broke a sweat.
See,
it was third quarter.
He has not sweated out the Rogaine from his beard in any game I've seen him play. Why is he talking to me?
Why is it so perfect?
That's a good point, though. That's a good fucking point that I did not think of. But what I will say is, for Q, I'm gonna position this question interestingly, right? Because do the Heat get past or allow the Bucks to pass them into the first place position? And you feel what I'm saying? Why I kind of said it the way I said it?
I mean, you're looking at two teams that's competitive, that plays to the end. You know, they're not looking at sitting players, resting players. I mean, rotationally it happens because injuries. Like I said, Jimmy, you know, to you before, Jimmy Butler twisted his ankle 15 times this season.
Man, listen.
You know what I mean? It's just, I don't think either get to the number one spot. Home court throughout the playoffs sounds more interesting than who you gonna play in the first round.
Okay, that's what I was looking at. Okay.
You know, we both got some dogs and we do it on both ends of the floor. We're not just one-sided like some of these lower tier teams that have dropped off.
I agree with
that. Bottom of the standards. You know what I mean?
I agree with that.
Hold on, man. Hold on. Time out.
Would you take that personally?
I feel that was a short little jab, bro. That was a tight little jab.
I wouldn't even talk about the Bulls.
I hear you.
I was talking about the Nets, but since you put yourself in that category,
I mean, you fall into it though. We fall into it. Even Cleveland
You're
falls
at the top
into
right
it.
now. You number one. You number one right now. You talking about every underling that's under you.
But no, he's more speaking from the duality of being able to score and while Cleveland and I meant to say the Bulls first would have been top tier teams in that, from injury we now are not.
Exactly.
No, look at that. I was just reacting to the light jab.
Right.
Yeah.
I was trying to dip him. Chris Rock wasn't dipping him.
And I guess I was Chris rocking it, and I was just eating it like, whoa. Yeah. Guess we just got smacked by the Heat.
The charge was right hand up for today, nigga.
Listen.
Fully charged, man.
That's why I said that.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but what I will say about that Chris Rock shit is, did you see the meme where they said Chris Rock balled his fist up just like I expected him to, with his thumb inside? That might not have been a meme. That might have been something I seen on a comment. I don't know.
I'm gonna break the shell of his thumb.
He had his thumb inside, like he looked like he was about to. and his thumb was tucked in.
You about to break the fuck out your thumb.
Say he balled his fist up just like I expected Chris Rock to ball his fist up.
Yeah, I throw it on like the black fist. You gotta be like, you know.
Right.
You know,
that's an excellent way to put it.
Oh, yeah, I know what time.
Listen, that's a good way to put it. Like the power. Put your hand in the power position. It's power.
You got the Will Smith fall through hand.
Right, the chop. Half chop, half smack.
The angle was off, nigga. Definitely like that.
But only reason why I position that question that way is because I feel like you said, does the Heat want to play a Nets if you see a surprise entrance, a Stone Cold WWE background intro with Ben Simmons coming out on the floor too with Kyrie and Kevin Durant?
He got two cold ones in his hand.
Yeah, right, smashing them together. I don't care if Ben hasn't played. I don't want to see Ben come out on that court. I don't want to see Ben on that court.
You know Ben Simmons is not much finna him up. If Ben Simmons plays,
we're talking about the best defender, one of the best defenders in the league, if not the.
I hear what you're saying, and I'm not trying to talk over anybody. What I'm trying to say is that
didn't take it that way, but of course.
But look, if Ben Simmons decides to come out on some heroic shit like that, that's some whole shit. You could have been to this a long time ago. That's your weight up.
I agree. Right. But would you still not be worried
about him
stepping out on that court?
Hell,
I would have with KD and Kyrie and Seth Curry.
Accounted for. You got to account for him.
That's a problem, man. That's a real life fucking problem that I don't think people are thinking about.
That's the thing, though. You think he's going to come out there and offensively? You think he's going to come out there and bomb 30?
I think that's a defensive problem. I don't even think that's an offensive problem. Listen, Kyrie still can play defense. May take more plays off than he should, but still has very effective defense. We saw that in the series against Steph in the Warriors lockdown. But listen, KD, a lot better historically at defense than a Kyrie Irving would be. Then a Ben Simmons who can travel, right? We don't even travel. Go where you see the need to play D, and we'll cover this outside area, and we still have Andre Drummond down low. That's a problem. That is a problem. Regardless of if people want to acknowledge it, that's a problem.
The only thing I'm going to say against that is that his stamina is not there. You haven't played for 2 years, my G. Look, you haven't looked. You ain't been out there battling with nobody. So you might be able to pull that shit off quarter one, quarter two. Point. Boy, are you going to do that shit the
great point.
Bottom 24 of that game, the other 24 minutes?
Great fucking point.
You're not finna come out here and dominate.
But like I don't think I would question his endurance enough to where I would think that would matter.
It's been 2 years.
Doesn't matter. I still think that Ben Simmons hopping off the couch can give you 24 solid minutes.
Well,
that may be all he needs.
You're a positive person. You're very positive.
Come on now. When has Ben Simmons ever been considered as, what's the word I'm looking at? Not like a slacker, but like we know Ben Simmons works. He may not work on the things we want him to, such as the three, the pull-up jump shot.
As of the last time I heard, he can't even sprint right now. He can't run down court. Can't run.
Now, let's be honest. What the fuck do that sound like?
Hey, look. Oh, here's what I'm trying to say. So if he comes back during...
I'm out for mental health, and I'm a professional basketball player, and motherfuckers are saying I can't sprint down the court.
No,
well, you know they're saying that he has that back injury now.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
He had a herniated disc.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
Herniated disc. He can't sprint or whatever.
Honestly, I just haven't taken that seriously because I feel like you're just compounding issues as to why he can't play. But
I'm not compounding.
Issue could be
he's not playing. These are the reasons he's not playing.
But the reasons why are just being added on. You feel me? At first it's mental health, now it's back.
So what's the real reason then?
Well, let me ask you this. Who did you help move, Ben Simmons? Why the fuck do you have a herniated disc and you haven't played since Philly playoffs where you didn't put up nothing but 2 points?
I don't have the answers to those questions. All I know is that you're not playing. If that's the case,
that's why.
Is that what happened?
That's why I get to compound issues, because it's like at first it's mental health. He doesn't feel mentally ready to play, and now all of a sudden there's back issues involved. But I'm wondering, where did the back issues come into play? Because you played through the playoffs with Philly. So I'm questioning, who did you hold up? Who did you help move? Like, what is the issue to where you herniated your disc from then to now, when we were just talking about mentally you not being prepared to step onto the court?
I feel like we're talking about the same shit right now.
And we could be.
That's exactly what I'm trying to say.
But you telling me that you now can't sprint at the age of, 25, 26 years old?
Exactly.
I have a problem with that. Why? Why can't
How much are we paying this nigga?
Right. Somebody explain it.
Show me the checkbook.
I don't get it. But at the same time, I know we have, what's the word? Divulged or whatever. Diverted, whatever. Regardless if he steps on that fucking court, sprinting or not, that's a problem for teams. That is a guaranteed problem for teams. Defensively and offensively. Because now you have somebody that's willing to pass the ball out there too from a big position.
He's a threat, but he's like one of them threats where is your older brother really going to come outside now?
Right. I see what you're saying.
Because if not, I'm going to beat your ass.
Right. You just told him he ain't coming. That's a good way to put it.
And I know you say what KD gives you.
It's cool.
That's a good way to put it.
No, I was just saying, I know you know what KD gives you with length on defense. I know you say what Kyrie does on defense, but this version of the Nets don't generate defense.
That's why it'd be dangerous to see Ben come out there.
I don't, and then you have to have that chemistry, because we all know when you're on defense.
Yeah, you still have to move,
you can easily.
You're right.
You have to pick that guy up. But you gotta pick that guy up.
Ben hasn't been first team all defense for the past 3 years for nothing.
I understand that. But this version of the Nets does not play good defense. And I mean, is it coaching? I don't know what it is, but this version should be able to play better, but they don't. I mean, you gave up 123 to Detroit last night.
I mean, Detroit, like we've been saying, Detroit is not playing bad basketball. They're not playing bad basketball.
No, they're not.
They can't tip the scales.
They're playing. We have nothing to lose basketball.
Might be a good way to put it.
Who's starting tonight? It don't fucking matter.
Yeah, that might be a good way to put it.
You know what I'm saying? Kay Cunningham is coming of his own, but
that's good for his development too.
It's good.
Just saying, fuck thinking about winning. Go out there and play. Right. Play and do you.
But we all know the Pistons next year. If the Pistons make a playoff run next year, we would all be surprised. Like I wouldn't imagine.
I'm calling it now. All right. I'm calling it now. I'm not saying next year the Pistons make the playoffs, but the 2 to 3, I'm giving it the same like the Cavs, the 2 to 3 year mark. Not next year, but the year after. They either make the play-ins or the playoffs in the year following. They're a fucking problem. They're a problem. Listen to me. Detroit's a problem. Orlando's a problem in that time frame. Houston's a problem in that time frame. It's going to be a big swing that takes place from the top teams within the next 3 years. Mark my words when I say it.
And I actually, to be honest with you, I like what OKC is kind of doing too, even though they're losing.
I agree.
They got some young. They scary.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander with Josh Giddey, Isaiah Roby.
Yeah.
They do have problems on that team as well. That's what I'm saying. You're gonna see a swing of the top teams happen within the next 3 years.
I don't even see a swing. I just see more competitiveness. Like look at the East right now. You usually this time of the year, your 1 is 2 kind of set, and your 3 through 6 is kind of jostling. You know what I mean? But look at this. You got top 4.
You are correct.
Any loss on any night in the 4th could be number 1.
You are correct. You're absolutely correct.
So I just see the league getting better from a talent standpoint, man, because you got the G League. How many undrafted players are in the league right now?
Yeah.
You know, Miami Heat, like I mentioned earlier, they probably don't have a draft pick first round for like the next 3 years. You know, they don't care. They find a diamond in the rough all the time.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, teams is picking up. They're picking up on the farm system. They're picking up through the draft. They're picking them up off the couch. They're picking them up off overseas, wherever they can get them. They sending those scouts out to find the true ballers because the league it's up there now.
Ooh, I would imagine that's interesting that you even put it that way, because I would imagine now that the scouting team that teams have doubled over the past few years, because now you're absolutely correct. You do have to go international. They got the NBA Africa that came out last year. You have to check these places out to see who's available, and so many new places are popping up where you don't hear players coming from.
Yeah.
I think it's a good business.
And then they just set up some more games for Mexico or yeah. So
you're absolutely
they back
correct.
there expanding, man.
You're absolutely correct.
I'm hoping 5 years down the line, 1 through 8 is a problem.
But like we said, we had that conversation.
You know what I mean?
We had that conversation, right? And I heard you, and I'd still agree. Mexico doesn't produce anyone. Remember I tried to say Rudy Fernandez and all that? Yeah, he's Spain too. I was just throwing out names I was thinking of. Your boy who was in the dunk contest this year, Toscano Anderson.
He's not.
He's the only one.
Oh, the only Mexican?
Half Mexican, half black. He's the only.
Oh man,
he's the only one of Mexican heritage that I can think of historically. And I tried to look it up after that episode. I think it was like episode 106 or something. It was a while ago, but that's only 5 episodes ago. So it was back before that. I'd say 101 in that area. But he's the only one. So regardless of you putting games in Mexico, you're not getting Mexican talent from it. So at this point, I think you have to go NFL and venture off overseas. Let's start putting games in places where we're actually getting NBA players from.
I think Mexico is more of a PR thing and more of an entertainment venture, you know, neighbors next door kind of thing. And knowing what the U.S. has been going through as far as the border the past, 5-6 years.
I agree with that.
You know what I mean?
And like we said on that episode, there's a Mexican station for every NBA team.
Yeah.
So it's not like Mexico's not interested in the NBA. They're just not producing NBA talent.
Nah, you got soccer. Soccer is too big.
And that's why I said Toscano Anderson should have did a dribble, kick off the backboard, and then dunk that shit in a dunk contest. He'd have won that motherfucker.
You can be 5'5", 5'6", and be a legend
in soccer, right?
Be a legend.
Yeah.
You can't. Muggsy Bogues, Spud Webb, and Kevin Johnson. The short people that represented the league.
Clyde Drexler, all them, yeah.
Clyde Drexler was like, what? Clyde Drexler was like 6'7".
No, he wasn't.
Clyde Drexler?
Hey, Siri.
Clyde the Glide?
Hey, Siri, how tall is Clyde Drexler?
6'6", 6'7".
Was he that tall?
He's tall.
Hey Siri, how tall is Clyde Drexler?
Clyde Drexler is 6 feet 7 inches tall.
God damn! I didn't know he's that tall. I thought
you
he's like
Clyde
6'1", 6 foot.
Clyde, the motherfucking Glide.
You don't remember Clyde Drexler acting like he was better than Michael Jordan back
then? Who am I
Mr. 22?
Talking about his height wise.
Then who am I thinking of? Who did you name?
Spud Webb, Kevin Johnson, Muggsy Bogues. Who else was short? Isaiah Thomas. He was short and was bald. The other Isaiah Thomas. The original Isaiah Thomas.
No, but he was 6 foot.
Who?
He was like 5'10", 6 foot in that range.
I mean, once you get to the other guys, they are.
Yeah, so nigga, that's short as fuck.
That's not though. Like I've been short as fuck, like 5'8" and below.
NBA 5'10", you are undersized.
Yeah,
my nigga.
I understand that. I understand that. But in an era where you didn't see 6'3" point guards, you're not as undersized.
That's why I brought up Kevin Johnson.
I get that. There's somebody else that you're missing that is driving me crazy.
Steve Francis, Chris Paul.
Steve Francis is about 6 foot. He was 6 foot.
Chris Paul.
Yeah, like I said,
Chris
5'8" and below is what I'm thinking.
Who?
He said Chris Paul 6 foot. I said 5'8" and below is what I'm thinking. I'm not thinking 6 foot. Because 6 foot, let's add Allen Iverson in there.
Yeah, Allen Iverson is 6 foot. Yeah, exactly. He's 6
right.
foot.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm not just going to give you, yes, Allen Iverson was undersized.
That's what I said. Everybody's name is 5'8" and under. Kevin Johnson is 5'7".
Right.
Muggsy Bogues is 5'3".
There's somebody else.
Paul Webb is 5'7". Isaiah Thomas. The new one is
5'8".
5'8". So he's barely
5'8".
out. So
there's somebody else that's gonna drive me crazy. But continue.
No, that's what I was saying. I said what I was saying.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's gonna drive me crazy. I'm not gonna remember it. There's somebody else. It's all right.
Charlie Chris was 5'8".
For where? For who? Who'd he play for?
That ain't Charlie
Hawks.
That's exactly who I thought.
San Diego Clippers, Milwaukee Bucks, from 1978 to 1985.
That's exactly what I thought. Atlanta Hawks, but that I don't know if that's not the name. That would just
Nate Archibald in there. Tony Archibald. I think it was like 5'10". That's 70s, 80s.
Earl
Boykins.
That might be him. That might be exactly who I'm thinking of.
He's 5'5".
That might be exactly who I'm thinking of.
Earl Boykins.
I just knew there was another name in there. I don't know.
Earl Boykins was definitely 5'8". I remember Earl Boykins. He played who he played for?
He played for Denver.
Uh-huh.
He played for Denver. He played for somewhere before that.
Yeah, Earl Boykins.
Damn,
well, Earl Watson. Earl Watson, he wasn't that short.
What about Ty Lawson? Was he
Ty Lawson was, but I think
he might have been 6 foot though.
Nah, he was under 6 foot. I think Ty Lawson was like 5'10".
Oh, okay, yeah. So he was in that.
He also wasn't like exceptional at that position. You know, like wasn't like he was flying over motherfucking Nate Robinson.
Yeah.
Let's not act like Nate two-time dunk contest winner.
Yeah.
That's it. Definitely. Nate Robinson.
But that wasn't the one I was thinking of. I think you are right, Earl Boykins, but
it took control of your ass, was it?
He's stupid.
Nate Robinson.
Okay, so let's wrap up because we are at 2 hours. Before we wrap up though, who's coming out the West?
Just seeing what the Phoenix is doing.
It's hard. It's hard not to say Phoenix.
Not knowing Ja's health. That's but where I'm at.
What about and that's where I was too, but what about Klay Thompson back with Steph and them being that? Because you got to think, Steph in the Golden State Warriors record would be a lot better if Klay had have come back before a little later than midway through the season.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I can still see them. Like, I think that we're rating Golden State from before Clay came back.
Right.
True.
So it could be tough between that Suns, Golden State.
And also, they slick resting their players right now. I see it.
Yeah.
I see it. There's no damn injuries. You resting these dudes, man.
And they have the postseason experience. Like, even though the Suns went to the finals last year, don't give you postseason experience like the Warriors.
True.
And there aren't many people new to the Warriors that haven't been involved in that.
Suns, Warriors, Eastern Conference Finals. Who you taking?
Hey, you know what? Suns and Warriors are playing tonight at 18 and 18.
That's a 7-game series for sure.
And what about the Celtics Heat? I wanted to see that because I had the Celtics.
That came on at 7:30.
They're playing right now.
It's on commercial. But I was watching that. I'm off in the cut, checking in.
We don't have to score.
No, I don't.
Hey Siri, what is the
Celtics winning that?
85-90. The Celtics are up.
Okay.
Celtics are ahead of the Heat, 90-85.
Yeah.
With 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
And then another thing is y'all just lost to the Nets, and Jimmy Butler played 25 minutes and only scored 7 points. I was real concerned at that game.
Woo.
I wasn't.
I know you weren't. You're a fan, but I was looking at it like, that's interesting.
Do you not think that Jimmy Butler is a little bit, I'm not saying he's a problem, but he's a little bit self-centered?
No, I definitely agree.
Very egotistical.
I'm asking.
I agree.
I'm sorry.
No, I definitely agree with you. And last week wasn't the only spat they've ever had either, with Jimmy Butler being in that locker room and down in Miami.
I'd rather the spats than you just walk around this bitch feeling like you just run this motherfucker.
You'll see the true Miami come out, and when he's playing only 8 minutes a game in the playoffs, y'all gonna wonder why. That's where the culture comes from.
I would like to see that.
We'll plug Tyler Hero to the starting lineup if we got to.
I don't mean that I would like to see that. But I would like to see a team check a player that's overstepping his bounds.
Oh, we've done it. We've done it multiple times. If you come in at the beginning of the season, whether you're a starter or not, and your height to weight ain't Miami Heat acceptable, you'll sit on the bench even through the regular season until you're ready.
Yeah, I have seen that. I've seen that with Miami.
Yeah, they don't. It's a program.
But doing that to Jimmy is something different, though. Like, that's something I would like to see how much. I don't want to say.
And that's why back in the day, people never understood it because Miami didn't win that way. They weren't winning as much, but they always said you go to Miami to get ground down.
At Riley.
We be losing that. We win 5 games one season. But it's still, you go down to Miami, they're going to grind you down.
Right.
So it is what it is.
So everybody, I said Warriors. Who you got? Suns, Q?
I got Suns.
Hey, you know where I was at last year, man. Suns got to my glory.
Suns. Okay, let me write this down.
I love Steph Curry, but I mean they got the chemistry already.
Unless James,
you good. Go ahead.
Unless James Wiseman comes back.
I thought he was coming back though.
No, he's out.
But they said he should have been able to.
He's not back yet. Unless he comes back and ends up being a factor, I don't see them.
That's another Ben Simmons situation where, regardless if he steps on that court,
who's
that's the problem.
Is what I'm trying to say. You know, you got Devin Booker, Mikal Bridges, you got Chris Paul. You know, you have a good backcourt. DeAndre Ayton and what's the other nigga name?
Devin Booker.
You talking about Dragic?
JaVale McGee. Who's JaVale McGee?
Are you talking about Biggs?
Biggs.
I think JaVale McGee is on the Suns.
Right.
Yeah, he is.
Look, they got a tough team, man.
Yeah,
That's a problem.
I think they are. He is on the Suns.
Do they make the championship? I'm not gonna put all that on there, but Western Conference Finals, I'll put 50 on that. I'll go to
the
Vegas.
Suns got it.
Exactly. I'll put 50 on it. See what happens.
I ain't quite ready to say whether or not I would yet to agree on that bet.
Got to roll the dice, baby boy.
Yeah, well, I know scared money don't make no money, but I ain't looking to make it at the moment. So let me.
What y'all betting on?
Hold off on that. Sons of the Warriors out the West.
I was going betting you. I was going like a general.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. But you know it's always us that makes the bet. So essentially that was to be.
All right, well.
That might be a bet down the line.
I was going to bet the sport book, but we want to jump in.
Oh, yeah, y'all legal down there, man. I wish I could.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I would much rather not bet my niggas and bet the powers that be than vice versa. I'm trying to take the government's money. But we just about wrapped up. Does anything? Well, no.
Right?
We'll hit the showers before we have anything to say to take us out. So who's hitting the showers this week?
Who you got, Q? I gotta think of something.
I do too at the moment.
And the one guy is very important, but just can't be important. Mr. James Harden. He played another game against the Suns, and he looked like Boo Boo.
Man, he looked like Boo Boo the Foo Foo.
if he hit his average, just his normal little 22-point average, it's a 2-point game in the fourth quarter. Ain't no telling how that goes.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And he had 30 dribbling. Yeah. Dribbling the ball off his ankles and shit.
Man, like 2 for 11.
Yeah, that's rough.
And your two made shots was threes.
That's rough. I mean, I definitely agree with that. Hit the showers. James hit them motherfuckers. I agree with that.
Man, hit the showers. I gotta give it to my squad, man, as always, man, because y'all ain't doing what y'all gotta do, from the upper management to the players to the hell probably the trainers.
Brian can't do it on his own, man.
He can't, but that's
historically though, and I'm not saying that Jordan could. Jordan couldn't either. Couldn't do it on his own. I don't give a fuck how great everybody say he is. Couldn't do it on his own. Wouldn't happen. But LeBron, even in Cleveland, couldn't do it on his own. And that was when he was young, fresh. He's not going to do it at the end of his career on his own.
He did it, like y'all say, he did it a couple years ago. So, I mean,
not on his own.
Right. So that's his fault. And that's the team. You put together those teams, you shuffle those cards, you make your bed. Like Mama always said, boy, you better lay in it.
Right.
Just lay in it with the rest of the team and the whole franchise. LA Lakers, hit the motherfucking showers.
Well, in this case, you ain't laying in a bed, hit the showers.
Right. Hit the motherfucking showers.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Moi.
Unless Aaron got his.
Yeah, unless. Because I'm still thinking.
Aaron, who's your hit the showers?
I'm still thinking. I'm trying to think.
I don't know, man. I don't really have a good hit shower right now.
I don't think I do either, man.
I think I'll give a compliment.
Okay.
I think the NCAA tournament this year has been a good distraction. There's been a lot of good games. There's been some lopsided games, but there's been some good games. And I'm interested to see the Duke UNC Final Four matchup. That's nice. And then the other matchup. And then also I watched the McDonald's All-Star game. And there's a lot of people going to Arkansas for some reason. I don't understand why it is, but I'm interested to see how that works out. So
how going to Arkansas works out?
Yeah, well, they did their thing.
No. Like in McDonald's All-Star game, they usually have commits.
Oh, you're saying right?
You don't see them dogs coming
and you're
up,
saying the commits are in Arkansas, or
commits in Arkansas, Alabama, and Duke.
That's what I thought.
The new coach for Duke, they got like the top recruiting class. So
Arkansas had a squad this year. I think they got something going to where they.
It started with last year where they were good conference wise, but not out of conference.
Duke's always been my squad, like Kentucky's been Malcolm's. So
I can't stand Duke. Duke's always that.
But I still like the players that they put out. I can't.
EJ Liddell going to the league.
You said who?
EJ Liddell from Ohio State.
No, I didn't. He declared. Okay, I didn't see that. I did see a lot of declarations, I guess you could say.
Well, he wouldn't be in the top.
Right. But
he was like late first round, early second round.
Right. Well, yeah, no. My hit the showers, I guess. I gotta give it. Fuck the Lakers. I gotta give it to the LeBron specific.
This city can't do it himself.
Right, but I like the work he's been putting in. But once again, like you said, you made your bed, lie in it. You can't be GM and player at the same time.
Right.
You're not good at it. I've been saying that. That's not your forte. So you're fucking up attempting to. You got to hit the showers because now you're in a position where you have to do it on your own. And you keep picking injured reserve players that were ex-superstars. You can't do that. They got to be current superstars, sturdy players for an old guy to get there. And he just doesn't understand that. So he got to hit the showers for me.
I agree.
But, shit. Does anybody have anything to take us out?
Shit. Like, subscribe, share. Be back Saturday. Apparently, there's more going on in the NFL. More to talk about there.
That'll be a good show.
You already know what time it is. Well,
fuck Tampa Bay and Tom Brady.
Look. If he ends up negotiating that trade to where he want to go, he's dead to me. You died. You know what time it is. Look,
nigga, all I'm saying is Tom Brady.
Shit go.
All I'm saying, Tom Brady, is if you see my nigga at the ESPYs and he walks up on stage and straightens his collar out too many times, my nigga got a reach on him. You already know.
I'm at a Philly shell shoulder right here. He'll be back.
We'll catch y'all next time. We love y'all, showerheads. Tune in, motherfuckers.
Okay.